Right, after a lot of struggling, appealing for help, some very helpful people have pointed me in the right direction, and I've now managed to get, hopefully I'll be able to do it again, but I've now managed to get multiple engines all working, 2 pulling, 2 pushing, to get a consist going up a very big hill. So let's get going by way of a quick sorted tutorial type thing and a memory jogger for myself. First thing to do, take these 2 engines. This is the fully fueled scenario. Grab these 2 engines and hook them up to the back of the train. It's going to be going up Sand Patch grade. So standard setup to start with. Into the seat. Let the graphics sort themselves out. Put the reverser in. Right. Set to lead or dead on the M4 thingy. Sorry, MU2A switch. Set it to freight, it already is, that's handy. It wants me to do some honking. It wants me to take the brakes off. I'm just getting rid of it. I'm just swatting the helpful things. Reversing to forward. Energize things so you can actually control the engine. Right, I'm in forward, brakes are off. Press B to shut that bell off, that does my nut in. Here we go. Set the switches. That's okay. Click. Click. And that should take me in the right direction. Right, so at the moment this is just set up as a standard lead locomotive, and that must be a downgrade because I'm just coasting and picking up speed. Caught it. There's the train, and what I'm going to do is, because this is effectively the back of the complete train, I'm going to start at the back, start at the locomotive number 4 and work forward. Some of what's in the route guide is correct, although when I tried setting it up as per the route guide it didn't work. So with the aid of somebody called Dean Dies, who, with the aid of YouTube, gave me some helpful hints. I got it to work, and hopefully I can get it to work again. Down to about 1.5 to 2 miles an hour. A couple. Right. This is effectively the lead locomotive at the back of the train. So it's locomotive number 3. So what I need to do now is not what it says in the route guide, but what Dean said. Leave the MU2A valve at lead or dead, because this is a lead for the back of the train. That doesn't agree with what's in the guide. Cut out valve, leave that at freight. Doesn't seem right to me, but it works. Automatic brake, put that up to handle off. Things happen. Don't need ditch lights, don't need step lights, don't need gauge lights. Put it into neutral, and then leave these 3 switches on, which again doesn't quite tally with what's in the route guide, but it works, or it worked last time, so we'll see what happens. Because this is the lead at the back end of the train, this is the one that's going to be communicating with the other end of the train, so we need to just make sure the radio is switched on, which it is. That's that fuse there. and because it's in the middle of the train, it's not at one of the ends. I can leave the headlight control to single or an intermediate units. This is an intermediate, and that's this locomotive setup, I believe. Right, out the seat. Out the seat. Come on, let me out. Right. That's locomotive number 3 set. This is locomotive number 4. This is the tail end of the train. So this will effectively be controlled by the one I've just set. So this one does not need its radio. We'll turn the radio off. It will need its lights controlled from somewhere else because this is the end of the train, so this is the back end of the train, so I'll set that to rear. Into the seat. I'd love to know what this actually does. Leave it set to trail 6 or 26, that's correct. Cut off valve, put it to cut out, it is, good. Automatic brake, let handle off, that's correct. That should be off. Right, dynamic brakes off, yes. Throttle idle, yes. Reverser out, yes. All looking good. And then for this one, we want to make sure these 3 switches are all off. Don't know why, but it works. Because it's being controlled from elsewhere. Right, that should be that. Okay. Why am I going that way? Let's go that way. I'm now going to utilise time travel to get to the front of the train because it takes forever walking, but that's why you can pause videos. Right, approaching the front 2 locomotives. So here's the front trail, or the back front one. And then we've got the front one to read finally. So this is the trail at the front, controlled by the lead, which is the front one, or something. Right, so again, as it's a trailing loco, this does not need the radio on, so the radio's turned off, good. Also, as it's in the middle of the train, it's not sticking out of the end, we don't need to have any headlight control on it, so I can leave that to single or intermediate, because this be an intermediate, so it is. Sit in the seat. Hopefully this is all set up for me. So it should be set to 6 or 26, yep. And then it should be set to cut out, yep. Should be set to handle off, yep. Should be set to release, yep. Ignore those. These 3 need to be switched off because it's going to take it's going to be given control by the lead, which is behind it or in front of it, something like that. Right, okay, so that's this one set up now. I believe I did, yes, the radio is turned off. Out the seat. Leave that door alone. There we go. Right, the lead locomotive, as in the front one, not the back front one which we just set up. I'm going to go on the back end of it just for a second. At least they've got the engine running. Right, I'm going to shut that just to keep it a bit quieter. Right, so this is the lead wagon, lead loco. So, because it's the lead, we're going to have to turn the radio on so that it can control the back end of the train. What's that one? Warning devices. I'm not going to play with that, not tonight. Right, so that's that. Headlight control. Where are we? single unit or intermediate unit. So this is controlling controlling with units coupled to the long hood, which is what we've got. Right, so I did turn the radio on, didn't I? Yes. Sit in the engineer's seat. Make sure this is correct. So we need that set to lead or dead, because we are leading the train. Brakes are released. That needs to be set to freight. We need, I'm going to leave that in hand off just for a moment. Right, to get control over the loco, we need to have all three of these switched on. So radio is switched on, check that. Engine run, generator field and control pump are on. Cut-off valve is freight, yes. MU2 A valve, lead or dead, it is. Banking com, nothing works. Well, nothing at the back of the train works unless you turn this on. I didn't think this was going to be necessary, but it's very necessary. Turn that on. You now have, hopefully, a set-up train ready to go. Let's see what happens, shall we? I'm not getting any commentary from my mate. It's because I haven't put that in. Right, the reverser's in. Set it to forward. And he's still not... Oh, no. Oh, that should be ready to go. It's still prompting me to do things at the back end, which I'm not going to do because I've done them. Right. Brakes off. Hopefully. We're in forward. Bit of engine. And nothing's going to happen for a while because it's got to pressurise the back end of the train. So you can just see the brake reservoir at the back end of the train just starting to pressurise now, and that's got to get up to 89 psi. That's it fully pressurised. And the brakes won't release until that's pressured. So we'll get there eventually. Talk amongst yourselves. Please work. Yep, we've got motion. Right, so it's probably worth setting some points. Switches, sorry. This be the states. Right, so that's then done. The rest of it's done by the dispatcher. We have liftoff. And just to prove the back end's actually working this time, there's the front, just in smoke. If you listen to these, I'm going to throttle back off. Engine revs drop. Lots of power. They're actually working. That wasn't happening. So thanks Dean, you got me going. We're in action.